forest belongs to the Matangali Emalu who reside in the village of Nrombuta in Noikoro, Navosa province. It is one of the few remaining primary indigenous forests in Fiji. The Emalu forest is accessible to the Emalu land owners and to nearby villages Navitilevu and Nakoro. For a newcomer, it is a 9-hour trek by foot up the rough and rugged terrain to the Tova Tova catchment, one of the 3 catchments in the Emalu forest. The other 2 catchments are Mavuvu and Waikarakarawa. As landowners to visit vast, untouched by once inhabited land with an area of 7,347 hectares, covered predominantly by pristine forests, the Matangali Emalu have agreed to conserve these forests for their future generation. Aside from reducing greenhouse gas emissions and accessing carbon financing for the protection of their forests, will result in other non-carbon benefits such as fresh water, food, traditional medicine, cultural values, and so on.
Na bagala ko trabaho tu begitu musuh kami lagu kita tu nak mana kampanye tahu aku nak kena konsensus ni ada mai rula ko ngali ko tahu konsensus bagi ba kat kita mu begitu mai zuru na kabar ko na jeset ko sa mai dam to ko na itu lo meninggal ya pun tu dam to ko ko sarang itu ya buta ya bu ya ran ya bu ni pun ya bu mata ya malu kondom tulong mikina numendal ko sa may pantinta tungunan itu ngele tulman sa may tungo pinabaliw sana pinabaliw na ato may may pantinta ka ko na pun ko sa tao na jeset tena tao ko na kampon ko me tacho na buro ko me wato na miteke no sulit ko na rin bulan-bulan.
Emalu was selected as a pilot site for the Fiji National REDD program in 2012. There are more than 30 registered members of the Matangali Emalu, and the majority are women who reside outside of Nrombuta village. Following an expression of interest from the Matangali Emalu in 2011, a series of consultation meetings were undertaken in Nrombuta village to discuss REDD+, reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, and the whole of forest conservation, sustainable management of forests, and forest carbon stock enhancement, and the requirements surrounding the development of a REDD+ pilot site. These meetings involved other Matangali members residing in the village and included awareness raising sessions on forests, climate change, and REDD+, and each requirements for landowners. The Emalu forest area was marked for logging. However, swift action by the Fijian government with support from the SPC GIZ Coping with Climate Change in the Pacific Island Region program, Emalu is under conservation for the next 50 years. Which landowners are indeed grateful for this timely intervention and how they can contribute to the fight against climate change.
Yes, we are fortunate that the government has come in and helped us to conserve our forest, and we would also be glad and if wherever you go you share the message across. We want especially students and researchers, they could come in and share and look at the forest.
Emalu Forest is considered a very important watershed when compared to all the headwaters of the Singatoka River. Emalu is the only tributary that is still undisturbed. The forest also provides numerous ecosystem services such as food, fresh water, wood, medicine, and regulates microclimate, floods, diseases, water purification, and has significant cultural value.
Now we are approaching the boundary of the Matangali Emalu, which is the National REDD+ pilot site. This is Matangali Rano land which is the forest area between which is forested by the Ministry of Forest for the government.
Trekking through the forest of Emalu, you will be sure to pass cultural and historical sites significant to the history of Matangali Emalu and other Matangalis or clans in Rombuta village and nearby villages of Nakoro and Navitilevo. Taboo sites, ancient landmarks and old village sites hold deep spiritual and cultural meaning to the people of the area. Historical features and archaeological evidence in the site reveal the ingenuity and perseverance of the Emalu ancestors that allowed them to live in such remote, rugged and challenging terrain. These features include old agriculture terraces, extensive channels, ditches for Ndalo irrigation, habitation terraces, hill fortifications, habitation platforms, scattered clay pottery and stone alignments of rock, features that indicate traditional land boundaries. Emalu Forest is also a biodiversity hotspot and is unique when compared to other similar sites in Fiji. A number of endemic species found in Emalu include Fiji's ground frog, which is near threatened, Fiji's tree frog, which is critically endangered, and the nanai, or an endemic and rare cicada with a unique life cycle where adults emerge only after 8 years of breeding underground. This rare cicada is also the animal totem of the Emalu clan. However, herein lies a threat to the Emalu forest. Agriculture clearance for farming activities has been taking place within the Emalu boundary. Part of this land, which is common during the dry season, is burning for land clearing. In addition, there is a threat of free roaming livestock and invasive species into the Emalu forest. Agriculture is the main source of income from Rombuta and the Nakoro and Vitilevo villages that reside near the Emalu forest.
Na vikongo nita kimami wakila na kota mailebu na kana kimami tipo mantanga bak mata bubal embaleta na kena sengani musu mantanga na kabikau baleta ni na kena diburaki na raki na kasinganga senada bangona busaranga mai na kena tango makicho na bikau Emalu na kena tango maki me kwani musu seme kwani baka mai kimami ndaula kumena kena buli me kimami mai buli kina na kena ngara musu kome kwani musu na bikau Emalu.
In this segment, we highlight the correlation between climate change, forests, and the REDD Plus program. Climate change is caused directly or indirectly by human activity that changes the composition of the global atmosphere and is in addition to natural climate variability observed over comparable time periods. More greenhouse gases are accumulating in the atmosphere due to human activities. Carbon dioxide is emitted from the burning of fossil fuels like petrol, diesel, oil, and from removal of forest and vegetation cover. As more of these gases accumulate, they trap more heat that increases the Earth's temperature. This contributes to global warming, which brings about changes in our climate. The effects of this increased warming for small island countries like Fiji, which is evident today, include sea level rise, storm surges, erosion, and other coastal hazards threatening vital infrastructure, settlements, and facilities that support the livelihood of communities.
The role of forestry in supporting the COP presidency is to advocate on the importance of forest in terms of climate change mitigation and climate change adaptation. These are the two main areas in which forests come in there. Where when you plant a tree, the tree has both a mitigation role for climate change, it also has an adaptation role. Now there are many countries across the world that has big areas of forests, much bigger than Fiji. Now it is Fiji's turn now to advocate on the many things that we can do. But in terms of forestry, here in Fiji, we will be supporting the Honorable Prime Minister in advocating the importance of forest for adaptation and also for climate change.
There's a dual relationship between forests and climate change. On one hand, forests absorb carbon from the atmosphere. You know, climate change, the fossil fuels, lead to an accumulation of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And this carbon dioxide is absorbed by the plants. Plants need carbon dioxide to grow, and they convert it into mass, into fiber mass. And trees are the biggest land plants. So the trees absorb, the second most, the forests in the world are the second most important system after the oceans to absorb carbon from the atmosphere.
The Fiji National REDD Plus program began in 2009, implemented by the Department of Forests and supported by the SPC GIZ Coping with Climate Change in the Pacific Island Region program. In 2015, Fiji was able to secure $3.8 million from the Forest Carbon Partnership Facility of the World Bank to assist in its readiness phase for the Emissions Reduction Program, or ERP, to which Fiji would receive carbon funding. For the readiness phase, Fiji must produce a national REDD Plus strategy, a national reference emission levels, a monitoring, reporting and verification MRV system that is national, and a system for providing information on how the safeguards are being addressed and respected throughout the implementation of REDD Plus activities.
The National REDD Plus program in Fiji, it started in 2009, just 2 years after the Bali UNFCCC conference, in which REDD came out as one of the key components that are able to contribute to reducing emissions from on greenhouse gases.
The Paris Agreement is different from the UNFCCC and the Kyoto Protocol from 1997, where only developed countries are obliged to reduce emissions. Under the Paris Agreement, all countries, including Fiji, are to provide some commitment according to their different capabilities. The goal of the Paris Agreement is holding the increase in the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and to pursue efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, recognizing that this would significantly reduce the risk and impacts of climate change. To achieve this goal, the agreement requires all countries who are party to the UNFCCC, not just developed countries, to make efforts to reduce their emissions and to submit information on the details. Emalu landowners and the people of Nraumbuta are making a significant contribution to reducing carbon emissions through the protection of the Emalu forest. REDD Plus will result in other benefits to the people of Emalu and nearby communities in the district of Noikoro. REDD Plus will result in other benefits to the people of Nraumbuta and nearby communities in the district of Noikoro. Through the Ministry of Forests REDD Plus program and with the support from the Ministry of Agriculture, SPC and GIZ, the activities carried out in Nraumbuta include the reforestation of the Talasinga grassland area, the establishment of agroforestry demonstration plots, and alternative livelihood initiatives. This is to discourage villagers from encroaching around the Emalu boundary or planting within the Emalu forest, and to encourage sustainable land management practices in light of climate change impacts. Before approaching the Emalu forest, there are a lot of Talasinga or dry cleared land. Through strategic collaboration and partnership between the Fijian government, SPC and GIZ and the villages of Nraumbuta, there have been replanting of native trees and fruit trees. Monitoring of planting areas established on this grassland belong to the Matangali Lewenikaya.
Pinakanan itu katakan na tempat katakan juga kau na bukan ni roadside kena tu mai cuci nongen Nraumbuta. Na bukan ani tem merupakan sakila leusian sakila rara mana bukan ni REDD Plus. Kita promote tersinga mai sang tan talaka. Anak kena tiba kinga se fosili mendalin ponu. Maka kina nak kena pakalusi mena tengin bulum-bulum kan sa pakaili. Nabi tampat-tampat hena bukungan ni nonta pakatan se nonta pakata pakasibia. Na nonta vika usia nonta yaumbul. Na bukun ni cikina kitu wambut ni kitu namai suli pakasam se pakananan. Na kena mai tiba gile sutali. Nandalani bona na Matangali vika usangan ni nabukolangan ni kena sangai se faktor dai tagina tamata na bukun ni law. Bawa si kena sangai talangan na kena batau ko tagi se bakalusi tela men na vika saya li randu kilitani kina nondanga se sara kilitani kina nonda vi korkor nendaleni bono.
Yangona is the main cash crop planted by Nraumbuta villages in the areas near Emalu forest. Given the remoteness of the village, farmers find it easier to cultivate and sell Yangona because it is light to cut, non-perishable and rarely affected by the market prices.
In Yaman, we do not want to deforest it or to cut down trees because of the carbon project. So we try to do some alternative farming system so that because in Nraumbuta, mostly the major crop in Nraumbuta is Yangona. So before we plant Yangona, we will cut down the trees. So in order to plant Yangona and for the Yangona to be grown well. So the team and the project decided to do some other farming system that can also source of income to the farmers and also to the Nraumbuta village.
An alternative to which is the setting up of agroforestry demonstration farms.
Ndongana plot ko me ramai huli kina na len kormo. Ramai huli kina na sone wala tete mer na marro kina rangel membala cirna rakam belasing mat. Me wakantu rede cukup realiti cukup biko batani balatani batamata na pun biko korumpul kena kona kene naik na demonstration farm ko ati bidur magsikal mana kau buat karena buni kau ko meran reta main batamata ko cukup biko meran ramai batamata kanan rek cukup biko me kau boleh kami ki na me tangko mai kinon rabiko mer kuni musuh ko kali karena sampai tempat ini kena libuna iti korte cukup biko ramai tiap boleh ngeno lemno senor.
Another reason for these demo farms is to promote sustainable agricultural practices that contribute to soil conservation, increasing soil organic matter, and climate change mitigation.
This is we call this sustainable land management demo farm, SLM. We only target for the slope area because that chance for soil erosion is high. So because we also want to create this opportunity for them to move away from the project site. If not, they will go back to the near the project site and planting Yankona for them to deforest and start in the project site. We don't want to cut down trees to save trees for the carbon project.
In REDD+, gender is an important component that is critical to implementation. For the women of Nraumbuta, some of the trainings targeted specifically for them included wastecraft, honey production, environmental responsibility, and the value-added training using the local resources like cassava, talo, pineapples, citrus to make cassava crackers, cassava rolls, lemon sauce, and pineapple sauce, to name a few. An evaluation of the training revealed a behavior change amongst the ladies. They are more conscious on reducing, reusing, and recycle waste, better time management, and more variety in their household diet as compared to before.
Kan sosok marama na Nraumbuta, ubabna na kawali na bibararamatay. Sa may bahador tuna REDD+ na ni mamilo may kor. Nabuko ni buli, so na buli rakota may kimabana na kanya sa may kimay sa may baka buli dia na bunga sara na bikain kimay mi bahador na marama. May baka na talimbausi, na kesa na tula buli reso ni baharau, kana buli beli taki. Pati vida tal na karmay ukikima mikina. Baka bila nakatawali bu, nonre to may na REDD+. Bunga nakati may misingan ni kilatu ramay babuli bikima. Bawasi binito, baka raw, na sulu. Era mukikima misaraki na bakalibu.
Nraumbuta has begun honey harvesting and production from the bee boxes this year and are selling it at 1.1 kg for $20. Looking at Nraumbuta today, one will also notice a newly built wooden spacious building in the middle of the village. This is the Nraumbuta Community Hall, an initiative of the women who have been utilizing the catering money given to them to build a hall for the village.
Na olongo, magpenyo na nagaya na REDD+ na sila bikima mindani wasin labo. Na buding-buding nga lang may bigito, nakututa ka na balinsongo ni Kora. Kwa sa may induritiyo ni kwa na balinsongo na luman Kora Nraumbuta. Kwa na buding-buding nga ni marama. Mamisa wala na binatang nga, nabikalib, nabikarunya, lusulia na kalubiti mami, may bat niyo ko na ray. May naluman ni Kora, na tira na tura ni REDD Emalu. Nikimay may daw, at kinaluwi ni Kora Nraumbuta.
An array of trainings of agriculture development, sustainable land management practices, sustainable forest management, beekeeping, nursery management, land use planning have been carried out to the men, women, and youth of Nraumbuta and nearby villages of Nakoro, Vitilevu, and Numbuyanitu. Other training includes spices and wax making, processing, and bee box maintenance. Other activities include the training of the villagers on alternative income generating sources such as beekeeping, improved livestock management, and crop diversification. In addition, the Nraumbuta Community Tree Nursery was established in 2013, including training on nursery management. The establishment of the nursery has facilitated reforestation efforts for the communities in the area with the availability and easy access to tree seedlings.
Mita ke mami maru tak sarwa kali bisa mai huri-huri tin labi sona mata bubani Membaleta na vikar mai bakatabuli na kena lakumenan gasing buli nita kima mimaruta kasarvali.
Overall, the benefits of protecting the Emalu forest today will be of benefit to the future generation.
Kau mai na kabani ko mai mabanwe mulekina na wator lagi tu kami lukuna akari kampun. Abu bina wali. Indua na kusana gaya ni na mationgo ida tu na buka ora tu na tahu tu kenela waktu ngere tu kona kaungo. Oi, kena kenela bongo. Kasana na kaungo. Tu tu kena bura-bura. Tumbuh tu kina, bukan na kambla kaya mo, kau kau terjadi sekolah nanti dah, sudah cerita tentang bulan ini, nak kenal kita tu satu tunggu, kita sarai itu tunggu, kita tu nak kenal kita nak kami itu sakit ni, mana nak kata, mereka tahu tu nak mana nak kenal kau, muka kau, sarai itu tu, nak kenal apa, sarai itu tu kenal kau.
The Emalu landowners are calling out to researchers and academics to visit their forest, which they believe is unique and holds a lot of environmental and cultural value.